On this episode of Big Movie Mouthed Off, the Force is awakened. Welcome back to Big Movie Mouthed Off. I'm your host, Jimmy Martin.
I'm Bryan Young, and I like Star Wars. I write for StarWars.com and Star Wars Insider about the cinema behind Star Wars. I do a Star Wars podcast called Full of Sith, and I do the Big Shiny Robot.
There you go. I don't think there's anybody else that was going to be doing this episode with Star Wars.
I like to talk about Star Wars.
So on this episode of Big Movie Mouthed Off, the only thing that will not be Star Wars is at the end, we'll be talking about, I went on the Point Break junket to his new Point Break. Sure, why not? So I interviewed that cast. But now, let's just talk about Star Wars. And before we do, let's watch one of the trailers, and we'll talk when we get back.
There has been an awakening. Have you felt it? The dark side. And the light.
Okay, so I can remember being a child and them saying, we're going to do 7, 8, 9, or are they ever going to do 7, 8, 9? And then, like years pass, they're getting too old for it, you know? And then all of a sudden, I guess Disney bought it. And then
George Lucas decided he was going to do the movie.
Yeah.
And that was part of the sale, the inducement to the sale for Disney. And so I think it was October 2012.
Yeah.
We got the news that there would be more Star Wars. Although, yeah, you can go back and find interviews with people like Mark Hamill did an interview in 1983 where he said, George said he's going to have me back in 2011 or something, and I'm going to have to hand the lightsaber off to somebody else, which kind of makes the movie a little bit different when you think about what it could have been.
Interesting. Well, kind of getting the story-wise a little bit, you've got a whole new cast of characters. You've got Daisy Ridley playing someone named Rey, who is a lone scavenger on the planet of Jakku. You taught me if I get any of this wrong, because you're going to know if I missed it. You've got Poe Dameron, played by Oscar Isaac, who is the rebel leader's best pilot, right? Then you've got John Boyega, who is actually a stormtrooper, because they're not clones anymore. A lot of people are confused by that. Now they're humans signing up for...
they haven't been cloned since before Episode 4.
Yeah, so there you have it. So you have that one. And then you get your original cast back. You get Harrison Ford coming back as Han Solo. And you get Carrie Fisher as now General Leia. And they kind of start getting the mix. And then, obviously we're missing one big character, actually.
Where's Luke?
Well, that's what's funny. Everybody's asking where Luke is. And my favorite part is that in the crawl, first thing it says, Luke Skywalker has vanished. There's your answer. He's not here. So calm down. But the other one you got is Kylo Ren. Who is basically this generation's Darth Vader.
He's a very interesting and fascinating character, sort of a petulant child version of Anakin Skywalker, if you can imagine that.
Yeah.
Because Anakin Skywalker was already pretty much a petulant child.
Yeah, absolutely. And so there's so many secrets, I know that they're going through your head. You've seen this how many times now?
Before we walked in to record, I saw my 5th time.
There you go. I've seen it twice. I'm going to see it another, more, I'm sure. But so there's so many secrets in our heads right now that we just can't tell you. We don't want to ruin it, because one of the best things about these films are the secrets.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to be very specific of what I say and try not to ruin much. But let's just say that Kylo Ren is looking for Luke Skywalker for one reason or another. And
well, I think it's pretty apparent he'd like to kill him.
He would like to kill him. Because, well, now I don't know if you can consider it, you would know this. Kylo was in training, maybe we can say that, and but he's not really a Jedi.
No, Kylo Ren is, that's not his real name. He is the Master of the Knights of Ren, which is a new order of dark side Force users that we don't know really anything about other than that Kylo is their master.
Yeah.
But Kylo answers to someone else, Andy Serkis's character, Supreme Leader Snoke, which is about as Star Wars a name as you can get.
It's pretty much as close as it gets. I think there's other generators online that just flips it up, and that's probably what they did for that one. But yeah, Andy Serkis, and that's all motion cap for him.
Yeah.
Also, another amazing actress in this film, Lupita Nyong'o.
She knocked her performance of Maz Kanata out of the park.
She, and it's really, because I know there's issues with motion cap and like where we are nowadays, but it's getting good, folks. I mean, look what Andy Serkis has done with motion cap is insanity. I mean, like I believe they can start giving Oscar nominations for performances with motion cap because everything's there.
It would need to be some sort of hybrid where you've got a performance aspect to it and a technical achievement aspect to it, so you could give it to the technicians that animate it and the actor who performed it. I think that would be a great compromise, and it's not going to go away anytime soon.
No, it's not, and it shouldn't because it's actually really, really good. But the first half, I guess we're just more talking about the story and whatnot, because don't worry, folks, we'll review it in the next segment for sure. But, it's walking to these doors, like, I'll be honest, I was kind of nervous. You and I differ very much on the prequels, but, I was still excited because now we're getting somewhere that we don't know what's going to happen. Anything can happen, anyone can die, and to me that was so exciting, but also terrifying.
It was indeed.
Is that what you had too when you walked in?
No, absolutely. I mean, you could only watch a Star Wars movie for the first time once.
Yeah.
And so there was a nervous anticipation and excitement there. And the fact that I really didn't have, I mean, like, I know about Star Wars. I know a lot about Star Wars, and familiarity with it is something that ties into what I love about Star Wars. And I was walking into a movie I knew absolutely nothing about except for what we saw in those trailers.
Which wasn't much. And speaking of that, when we come back on Big Movie Mouth Off, we will review Star Wars The Force Awakens. Stay tuned.